So you're thinking about making a move to sunny South Florida? Well, grab a mojito and kick back. Today we're giving you our picks for the top 10 reasons South Florida is a great place to live. Let's go.
Here are the top 10 reasons South Florida is a great place to live. Number 10, tropical paradise lifestyle.
Let's kick off the countdown at number 10, the tropical paradise lifestyle. Living here just feels like a vacation, even on a Tuesday. You can hop in the car and be island hopping through the Florida Keys in under an hour. Or if you'd rather leave the car behind entirely, the Bahamas are only about 50 nautical miles from Miami, a straight shot across the Gulf Stream, close enough that plenty of boat owners treat Bimini like a day trip. And speaking of the water, the fishing here is honestly its own reason to move. Offshore Palm Beach and Stewart are known as the sailfish capital of the world, with anglers chasing sailfish, mahi-mahi, and tuna, just a few miles off the beach. Head inland and you've got the Everglades, Lake Okeechobee, and Lake Ida for bass fishing, plus something you genuinely can't find in most of the country, peacock bass. Florida wildlife officials introduced them into the Miami-Dade and Broward Canal system back in 1984, straight from the Amazon River Basin, and now you can catch this exotic, hard-fighting sport fish in a canal behind a shopping center. Add in beach days, major league sports across the board, the Heat, the Dolphins, the Panthers, the Marlins, Inter Miami, and nightlife in Miami and Fort Lauderdale that runs as late as you want it to, and you start to see the whole pitch for South Florida. It's not that you're visiting paradise once a year, you're just living it.
Number 9, excellent schools and universities.
Reason 9, the schools. And honestly, this might be the single biggest reason families with kids end up making the move. Florida has been ranked the #1 state in the country for higher education by U.S. News & World Report for 9 years running, from 2017 through 2026. Lowest tuition and fees in the nation, plus the top graduation rates for both 2-year and 4-year colleges. On the public school side, 2 Palm Beach County high schools cracked the top 1% nationally in the latest U.S. News rankings, out of roughly 18,000 public high schools evaluated. If private school is more your speed, South Florida has some of the strongest options in the state. St. Andrew's School right here in Boca Raton has been voted the top private school in Palm Beach County multiple years running, and schools like Pinecrest and American Heritage regularly produce national merit scholars. And when it's time for college, the University of Miami currently ranks number 2 in the entire state of Florida. FIU, Florida International University, was just named the #1 university in Florida by the Wall Street Journal and College Pulse for the 2nd year in a row, based largely on the boost it gives graduates' earnings. Nova Southeastern University rounds things out with strong health sciences, law, and business programs. Put it all together, top-ranked public schools, elite private options, and nationally recognized universities. And it's easy to see why education so often tops the list when families with kids decide to plant roots in South Florida.
Number 8, thriving job market.
Number 8, and this one's big, the economy. Florida's economy just hit 1.8 trillion, officially making it the 14th largest economy in the entire world. Bigger than Australia, bigger than Mexico, and growing at 6.3% over the past year. And South Florida is a huge part of what's driving that. Miami's actually earned the nickname Wall Street South because so many major finance firms have picked up and moved here. Citadel's Ken Griffin relocated the company's global headquarters from Chicago to Miami's Brickell neighborhood, bringing over 1,000 jobs with it and building a 54-story tower to prove he means it. On the tech side, Palantir Technologies moved its headquarters to Miami, Amazon leased office space in Wynwood, and this one hits close to home. D-Wave, a quantum computing company, relocated its headquarters from California straight to the Boca Innovation Campus. Underneath all of that corporate momentum, South Florida's unemployment rate dropped to 3.5% in December, the lowest in the state and one of the best among major U.S. metros, according to WLRN, with healthcare, education, construction, and tourism all adding jobs. So if you're in finance, tech, healthcare, or hospitality, this isn't a region riding on tourism dollars anymore. It's becoming one of the real economic engines of the country.
Number 7, world-class dining.
Reason 7, the food. South Florida's dining scene reflects everyone who's moved here, so on any given night you can go from Cuban to Peruvian to an Argentine steakhouse to fresh-caught stone crab without leaving a 5-mile radius. Miami alone has restaurants that have picked up James Beard nominations, and that's before you even get into the Caribbean, Haitian, and Latin American spots that don't always make the best of lists, but are just as good. Because we're a coastal region, seafood here is about as fresh as it gets. A lot of what's on your plate was caught that morning. And this city doesn't just eat well quietly, it throws 2 of the biggest culinary events in the country to prove it. Every August and September, Miami Spice Restaurant Month turns hundreds of the area's best restaurants into a citywide tasting menu, with 3-course lunch and dinner menus at a fraction of the normal price. This year actually marks its 25th anniversary. And every February, the Food Network South Beach Wine and Food Festival takes over Miami Beach for 4 days, bringing in more than 500 celebrity chefs and industry experts across over 100 events, and it's raised more than $46 million over the years for FIU's hospitality school. Whether you want a white tablecloth night out, the best hole-in-the-wall taco spot, or a front-row seat at one of the country's biggest food festivals, South Florida's food scene has options most cities just can't match.
Number 6, no state income tax.
Number 6 is a practical one, but it matters. Florida has no state income tax. It's one of only 9 states in the entire country that can say that. That means whatever you're earning or pulling from retirement accounts stays in your pocket instead of going to the state. For retirees especially, that can add up to real money every single year. Combine that with no state estate tax, and it's a big part of why so many people, and honestly, so many businesses, have relocated here from higher tax states in recent years. And the savings might be about to get even better. Florida lawmakers just passed a major property tax relief push. Governor DeSantis already signed part of it into law this year, putting tighter limits on how much local governments can raise property taxes without voter approval. On top of that, there's a constitutional amendment that cleared the legislature and is now headed to voters this November. If it passes, it would slash property taxes for many. That's real money off your property tax bill every year, on top of already paying zero state income tax. It's not the only reason people move to South Florida, but between the income tax savings and the property tax relief on the way, it's often the one that gets the conversation started.
Number 5, outdoor activities.
Reason 5 is for anyone who likes to actually be outside. Florida has more golf courses than any other state in the country, over 1,100 of them, and a huge concentration is right here in Palm Beach County, home to courses like PGA National. If golf's not your thing, the Everglades are minutes away for airboat tours, kayaking, and wildlife you won't see anywhere else. The Intracoastal Waterway runs the entire length of South Florida, so if you're into boating, you've basically got a highway on the water. And once you're out there, the water sports options multiply fast. Jet skiing, wakeboarding, paddleboarding, kiteboarding, you name it. Then there are the sandbars, which are basically their own social scene down here. Lake Boca is one of the most famous. Boats raft up together on a shallow sandbar right in the middle of the lake, and every year it hosts Boca Bash, one of the biggest boating parties in the U.S. Head north, and you've got Dubois Park at Jupiter Inlet, with clear water for snorkeling and wading. And yeah, we already talked about the fishing earlier in this list, offshore, inland, even peacocks in the canals. But it's worth repeating here, because this really is a genuine sportsman's paradise, not just a place with a few boat ramps. And between county and state parks, there's no shortage of trails for biking, running, or just walking the dog. This isn't a place where outdoor activity means driving 2 hours to find a trail. It's usually a few minutes away.
Number 4, vibrant arts and entertainment.
Number 4, the arts and entertainment scene punches way above its weight here. Downtown Miami's Adrienne Arsht Center hosts everything from Broadway touring shows to the Miami City Ballet. Wynwood has turned old warehouses into one of the largest open-air street art collections in the country, with new murals going up constantly. Up in West Palm Beach, the Kravis Center brings in symphony, opera, and major touring acts. And right here in Boca, the Boca Museum of Art keeps a serious permanent collection just minutes from home. And every December, Art Basel Miami Beach turns the whole city into a global art fair, drawing collectors and galleries from around the world. And honestly, that's just the venues. Once you factor in the festivals, it gets almost overwhelming. Between Art Basel, the Coconut Grove Arts Festival, Sunfest up in West Palm Beach, and dozens of smaller neighborhood events, there's genuinely something happening in South Florida almost every single week of the year. The biggest problem isn't finding something to do. It's that you physically cannot do it all. You're going to have to pick and choose.
Number 3, cultural diversity.
Reason number 3 is something you feel the second you get here: the culture. Miami-Dade County actually led the entire country in net international migration, gaining more than 123,000 new residents in a single year. That's roughly 155 people moving in every single day. And it shows. More than half of Miami-Dade's population, about 54.5%, was born outside the United States, nearly 4 times the national average according to Data USA. And it's not just Latin America and the Caribbean. South Florida draws people from literally all over the map. Sunny Isles Beach has such a large Russian and Ukrainian community that locals still call it Little Moscow. Delray Beach actually has German roots going back to some of its earliest settlers, and there's still an American-German club and a proper Oktoberfest to prove it. And you can't talk about South Florida without mentioning the Canadians. Every winter, hundreds of thousands of snowbirds head down from up north and practically become part-time locals. You'll hear Spanish, Creole, Portuguese, Russian, German, and honestly half a dozen other languages as often as English. And that diversity shows up in the food, the music, and festivals like Calle Ocho and Carnival Miami. It's not a melting pot in theory. It's one you can taste, hear, and dance to on any given weekend.
Number 2, beautiful beaches.
Next up, the beaches. And this is where South Florida really shows off. You've got Miami Beach with its Art Deco skyline, Fort Lauderdale Beach with that wide walkable promenade, and Palm Beach, which feels like its own private slice of the Atlantic. Closer to home, our own Boca Raton has multiple oceanfront parks, Red Reef, Spanish River, South Beach Park, all with lifeguards, picnic areas, and some of the cleanest sand on the coast. Between Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties, we're talking well over 100 miles of coastline, and pretty much all of it is public. Whether you're into paddleboarding at sunrise, fishing off a pier, or just parking a beach chair and doing absolutely nothing, the ocean is never more than a short drive away.
Number 1, year-round warm weather.
And here we are, reason number 1, the one that probably got most of us here in the first place, the weather. South Florida doesn't really have a winter, at least not the kind most of the country deals with. Miami averages around 249 days of sun a year, and West Palm Beach isn't far behind at about 234. Winters here sit in the low to mid 70s during the day. Summers do climb into the upper 90s, and with that classic South Florida humidity. Is it perfect every single day? No. We get our share of afternoon thunderstorms in the summer, and hurricane season is real and worth planning around. But when you're used to shoveling snow or scraping ice off your windshield, trading that for flip-flops in February is a pretty easy trade to make.
If you're thinking about making a move to South Florida, give us a call or shoot us a text. Maria and I and our team, the Melorine Group, would love to be your guides and help you make your next move.